everybody, and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Essses Championship for the final two races, races 7 and 8. Joining us on commentary as we look at the standings is... Hang on a minute, that's the... Hello, Ray, that's the wrong picture. Yeah.
That's the wrong picture.
It is the wrong picture, isn't it? Well, yeah, that's not the standings, folks.
It's fine.
The thing is, I can't even really edit it in now because we can't currently see it. What we can tell you, though, is there's a 1 point gap between Conrad and Steve F1. I will actually edit in, if I remember, the correct standings image, and visually you'll be able to see it. Me and Ray can't, though. I genuinely don't. Oh, no, I do know how that's happened. There was an... the video editor crashed on me. And when I went back into it, it said, do you want to recover the project? I said, yes. It took me back quite a few stages. And obviously, it hadn't taken me far enough back to have changed that picture. So my apologies. On the grid, Steve F1 on pole position. No Conrad here this week, as we talked about last week. D-Benar in second place here at Lake Maggiore. I think it's the West Circuit. SGP in third place. And then we've got Art Pal in fourth.
Yeah, it's Maggiore West, yes. Sorry, I missed who that was. Nelly there. Critical. Then we've got Rich Blues, Sarai, Jason, and Gary at the back there.
Yeah, Gary's joined us.
Sorry, I changed over to look at Discord to see
the
right.
Ah, well, it's too late now. Okay, Gary has joined us for this race this evening, but he is also looking after the baby, and he's on a pad. That's Gary, not the baby. As we're at 4 lights, 5 lights, and away they go! And it's a slow start from Art Pal. It's an even slower start from Gary and Jason at the back. Are they doing some kind of Champions Challenge? I think.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, a little bit of concertina effect there up at the front three. Okay, Gary and Jason are going now. Okay, so Steve F1 holds on to the lead. Now, regarding the championship standings, Steve F1 is 1 point behind Conrad, and then he's got about a 27-point gap to D-Benar. So, pretty much, Steve F1 is going to win the championship here unless he gets disconnected. D-Benar having a look. Making the move as we head down to Granny's Pit.
Yeah, D-Benar taking that inside line. Steve F1 trying to hold it round outside a bit there, try to keep the speed up, but it's not worked for him as SGP is now side by side as we hear Jason's tyres squealing.
That we do. Yeah, Jason seems to be lagging a little bit. Steve F1 being passed by SGP. Nelly having a look as well. D-Benar started to run away up at the front. I mean, it is a circuit where you can run away a little bit. But the question, I think, Ray, will be how powerful is the slipstream going to be here?
Especially this isn't much a long straight, but the one down to Granny Hill, but even though there's a bit of a chicane, it's more or less flat out through that chicane, so it's quite a long straight. It starts from turn 3
yeah,
all the way to Granny Hill's pit. As we see if we see different lines. Nelly on the grass a wee bit there.
Alright, that he is. Rich Blue's a little bit out of shape. SGP taking plenty of... Nelly. Oh, hang on. You know what? I might be a bit behind you. Are they just heading towards Granny's Pit Hill now?
Yeah, it just came up a purple sector time for Sunday.
Okay, and we're looking at Critical all over the back and all over the side of SRI. And now sideways with Jason. Yeah, it's alright. I went and changed the setting, and for a moment I thought it may have actually paused my video while I wasn't looking. So yeah, Critical very, very sideways there on the pack cam. SGP closed in on Demon R, as we're now 3 wide at the back here. And there it is, SGP. Demon R's a little bit wide through the first of the right-handers. Wide again, and here comes SGP. Trying to make the move up the inside. This could compromise the both of them. Yep, Demon R a little bit wide. And Steve F1 may get a decent run here.
I might get a double slipstream into turn 1. Oh, Demon R's pulled out, so going for it. He just can't do it.
No, pulled out. Oh, give SGP a little bit of a nudge. Steve F1 looking at trying a little bit of a switch back. I don't think you really want to be on the tight line into turn 3 though. The wider line or wider entry gives you a much better exit speed as SGP now breaks away a little bit. Here comes the pack though. Jason, Critical, SRI.
Yeah, Rich looking to make it 3 wide. Oh, Jason, where are you going? It's like, who did I give the slipstream to? And he just needs to be careful he doesn't cut back in and take somebody out, as I can't see.
It was too far away, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think they all managed to just get through there quite nicely. This is the tricky part though. It's a pretty much flat out Essses, but when you're side by side, it probably is not. Okay, the Demon R's caught up to the back of SGP, but now he's ran wide, and Steve F1 gets a little bit closer as well. Nelly sitting in at 4th place at the moment, as Steve F1 right on the back of Demon R now. So yeah, on the pack cam, Jason coming under a lot of pressure from SRI.
He asked Gary for a pair of his pervert glasses.
What are they then?
Binoculars.
Oh, his binoculars. Well, I don't know if you've just seen the video that SGP has shared in the DGT chat.
Yeah, I see that.
I just finished eating.
Still like that with mine.
Oh dear. Okay, Steve F1 pressure of Demon R once again in the pack cam. We've still got SRI behind Art Pal and Critical and Jason battling there as well as SRI dips a wheel wide. So does Rich Blues. He's wobbling. Manages to keep going though. For Formula Gary, he's quite a bit behind at the moment, but as I mentioned, he is looking after the baby at the moment, so there is a good chance that he's not really going to be in the race, so to speak, but he'll be driving when he can.
I know what his baby's first word's going to be.
What?
Freedom.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm surprised the Scottish babies don't say that as the red's poking out. But anyway, you know what? I'm fucking angry.
Why?
Well, apparently that's not a good name for the wife. Angry.
Oh, right, I get it. Was this a rise? Got past that, pal.
Look, next time you're having sex with Kirsty, I dare you to say I'm fucking angry. And when she goes, what you angry for? I go, no, you're angry.
Ryan.
Art Pal.
Yes.
Ooh! Oh, big crash into turn 1. Not entirely sure what happened there. Yeah.
Yes, Ryan move across a wee bit.
Maybe. It almost looked a bit reminiscent to what we saw on the G-Spot with Conrad and Nelly from Brands Hatch a few races ago. Excuse me. On the pack cam, we've got SGP with Demon R behind him, Steve F1 a bit behind them, and then on the main screen we're looking at Jason, who's just served a penalty. Now we've swapped cameras because Demon R's closed in on SGP once again. Nelly is kind of on his own at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just done. He's trying to keep the pack behind him and try to catch up with the leaders.
Aye, that he is. Oh, excuse me. Demon R closing in on SGP. This might be the first time SGP's been sort of in the hunt for a win in this championship. I could be wrong. My memory's not the greatest, but yeah, he's definitely in a battle here as Demon R and SGP go side by side through the final corner. Steve F1 could get a good run here as well. They might not have anywhere to go though when they get down to turn 1. There's a break just after the 100 metre marker board. And probably carry third gear through this corner, second gear into this first right-hander, and then get it into third gear as early as you can to kill the wheel spin. Steve F1 has closed the gap, but not been able to make a move on the pack cam though. Oh, Rich Blues!
Ooh. Sausage curb, it's going to knock you a bit if you hit it the wrong way.
Absolutely.
See Demon R going for... Is he going to go for a move into Granny Hill's... Is it Granny Hill Pit or
it's Granny's Pit Hill. Granny's Pit
Granny's
Hill.
Pit.
Alright,
Yeah.
oh.
And this one, this is a great corner, like you can throw it in, but if you get it wrong, you are in Granny's Pit.
I thought you were going to say you were fucking angry. On the pack cam, Critical got a little bit of a gap to Jason, who is actually closing that gap rather rapidly through the left and right-hander as they make their way now towards the double right-handers. Jason having a look up the inside. And,
squeezing each other.
Yeah, got very close.
Steve F1's got is that Steve F1?
No,
or Demon R?
That's Demon R got the penalty. I believe that'll be for the exit of the double right-hander into the left-hander, running a little bit wide. So he's going to have to serve that penalty in a few moments' time. Question is, will that drop him into the clutches of Nelly? As on the pack cam, we've now got Critical battling with Art Pal down into turn 1. Oh, a little bit squeezy. Oh, Critical a little bit spinny. Oh, and away he goes. SRI now closing in. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Okay.
A different line between Art Pal and SRI. SRI's now up beside it. They're side by side and they want to give more room.
Yeah, well, Art Pal, he clobbered the sausage and it sent him across the road. It's a battered sausage now. As Steve F1 all over the back of SGP into the left-hander. SGP's left the door wide open. We're looking at Demon R, but really we're looking at these two. Side by side they go, as on the pack cam. We are on board with SRI, I think. This is closing in on Jason, SGP and Steve F1 still side by side. This is actually allowing Demon R to close that gap up, so the penalty not really being of a hindrance for Demon R there, is it, Ray?
No, and also I think Nelly's just that little bit closer in the background as well, so these keep fighting. Nelly's maybe get a chance here.
Maybe. Demon R up alongside Steve F1, SGP sharing the slipstream. On the pack cam, still on board with SRI. Steve F1 going for it up the inside of Demon R. Yes, he is, side by side. Demon R's got the inside though for the right-hander. Steve F1 be able to do a switch back. He's looking for it. Will he have the speed? You're right, Nelly is closing in, but Demon R manages to stay ahead. Interesting, none of them really skirting with that sausage on turn 3, are they? Probably because, as you said earlier, if you hit it at the wrong angle, it just ruins you. Oh, is SRI's wide? I think he may have just clipped the sausage.
No, he actually didn't hit the sausage, but he went wide.
Fair. Demon R.
Is Demon R going for his move up Granny Pits? No, he's not.
Not on this occasion. I think Rich Blues may have just made a move on Art Pal. Yes, he has. Down into Granny Pit Hill. And up the hill they now go. Oh, Demon R's wide into the wall. Easily done, especially when you're following. As we're on the pack cam, Art Pal and Rich side by side. SRI trying to get through is on the main screen. Steve F1 making the move. You know, for quite a short track with not many corners, it's very action-packed, isn't it?
Yeah, SRI and Art Pal still side by side. Oh, SRI's trying to sneak back in there, but Rich was there. Needs to watch what he's doing.
Side by side, 2 by 2 they go.
That is.
Whoa, Jason!
Jason!
I think he realised at the last moment he don't need the pits. Okay, so very close behind SRI, very close in the front three. Nelly's still there as well. We've got 7.5 minute old sausage. Oh, Demon Art, he's not gone wide, but he's lost a bit of time being over the sausage. So yeah, we've now got 7 minutes 20 seconds to go. We're already 8 laps into this race, so we've probably got about another 5
It's
to go.
actually went quicker than actually doing it, collecting the footage.
Yeah, that is true, actually. But then we did talk for quite a while, and someone was very, very drunk. I don't know who. Okay. Critical coming under pressure from Art Pal and Rich Blues. Can Art Pal make the move? Was Critical going quite late on the brakes by the looks of it? Manages to hold on. Art Pal coming under pressure now. Jason doing the switchback. Yeah, that he has switch. He's in the right position as well to be on the inside for the right-hander. But his exit may be compromised. Well, he was going for Critical as well, wasn't he? Yeah, he sort of ran a little bit wide there.
Critical damage.
That absolutely. But yeah, so he was side by side with Art Pal coming through the left-hander, and then I think ended up side by side with Critical through the right-hander, which resulted in Critical being in the barrier. Jason is lagging about a little bit as well, as Art Pal and Critical slot in behind him. Critical's not interested in bump drafting here, is he? Having a look. Rich Blues having a look.
3 wide. Rich, I've got to be tight on that apex.
Well, Art Pal managed to get through. Yeah,
I was like, where's Critical gone? But he was there. It was just a camera angle.
Yeah,
you're going to throw it up that inside. Oh, Critical on the sausage. Up the inside, you've got to, you're 3 wide. You've got to make sure you hug that. Apex.
Absolutely, because you've got to leave space for 2 cars on the right of you. Jason coming under pressure now. This is allowing SRI to just open up a little bit of a gap, but he has gone in quite early into Granny Pit Hill.
He's kicked it up some. What is it, gravel?
Yeah.
I don't know what's there. Gravel, sand.
It's Granny's gravel. Oh, Critical having a look up the inside of Jason now. Not sure how that ended. Critical's dropped a couple of places. Yeah, there's a lot going on in the pack, but both cameras.
Minutes to go.
Yeah, that there is. Okay, Jason and Critical side by side. Yeah, it looked like Critical may have tried going for the move that Jason went for on the previous lap. Not entirely sure how it ended on the pack cam. They're still side by side. Steve F1 all over the back of SGP looking for another switchback. Demon R still there as well. Nelly's dropped back a little bit now, hasn't he?
Yeah, because they're not fighting as much. Oh, Demon R taking a big bite of that sausage there.
Yeah, and it hasn't helped at all because look, he's dropped back. But that's kind of what you were saying earlier about if you get too much of that sausage, it isn't going to help you as Art Pal and Jason got close.
Jason.
Yeah, Steve F1 going for it down into Granny's. He's got the inside line. SGP going for a nice wide entry to get a run up the hill. He's got the run. Has he got the line as Art Pal and Jason still side by side? Jason just squeezes through. Oh, I think Critical just took a lot of apex curb there. What, Steve F1 manages to just squeeze ahead. Oh no, he was ahead, wasn't he? He manages to fend off SGP, but now he's wide. And here comes SGP and Demon R for a 3-way battle.
Oh, I thought he's going to go wide there, but he's still there.
Oh, that he is.
So,
okay, so...
He's nearly getting closer now that they're fighting again, or he's dropped off quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he? SGP managed to make the move through the final corner there, and, making his 2 moves. 1 move one way, 1 move the other, as you're allowed. Ever so close, Steve F1 up his chuff. Expect SGP to park it here. Nelly has closed in a little bit now with these guys battling on the pack cam. We've still got SRI, Art Pal, Critical and Jason giving it a good go. They're almost behaving like a teenager who's at home alone for the first time.
Oh, somebody's off. I think it was Critical.
Oh dear. Okay, SGP trying to break the slipstream once again. Steve F1 opting not to try and get in the slipstream. Demon R's going to make it 3 wide, is he? No, he backs out of it. Steve F1 made this move on the previous lap. He's made it again. SGP gets another good run with his wider entry. Pat Camp still busy. Very busy. Arbel makes the move on Jason. Steve F1 makes the move on... No, he fends off SGP again.
Yeah.
Although they are side by side. SGP gets ahead, so Steve F1 covering it and going side by side through the fast Essers. Loses out. Demon R trying to go round the outside. Oh, has he gone too wide? Could that be another penalty?
Don't know, we'll find out in a moment. Coming down into this corner, it usually flashes up. I think he's got away with it.
Yeah, he ain't flashing his tic-tac, so he's got away with that one, but it has allowed SGP to just break away a little bit. Yeah, Nelly has closed up, hasn't he? Okay, on the pack. Whoa, Rich Blues! On the pack cams, just had a massive crash. Go on.
At turn 1, what's the best way of taking it? Because we see some people making a late apex, and we see some people trying to straight line the apex over to the other side, ready to turn in for turn 2.
It's Jason critical side by side. We saw a little bit of door banging from these earlier on as they're trying to give each other a bit of space. Now, critical. That's a bit of maybe a bit too much grass there.
I was taking a drink when I seen that. He shot right off Jason's nose there.
It's kicking up more dirt than Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Actually, I was going to say kicking up more dirt than the Me Too movement. Okay, Jason's got a bit of a run on him. Side by side they go. We saw this didn't quite work earlier on. Critical on that tighter line. Runs a little bit wide, but manages to survive on this occasion. It's definitely looking a little bit laggy there between those two. By the way, we've got 30 seconds left. We could be on to the last lap of the race as Jason and Critical. Excuse me. And goes deep.
I thought you went hook to it.
Hook to it, yeah. That was not intentional. Okay, SGP, Steve F1, Demon R are going to get another lap. There's 10 seconds to go. Will these guys get another lap? I believe they will as they're crossing the line now. With 4 seconds to go, yes, they will. Critical dipped a wheel. Did he spin? Oh, no, he survived. Okay, Rich Blues doesn't get the extra lap. Neither does Formula Gary. So side by side they go. Turn 1, it's a very interesting one. Me personally, in these cars, I like to take it in third gear, using turn 1 as still a braking zone for turn 2. So I tend to end up all the way over on the right-hand side on the exit of turn 1. But the way I take it allows me to take turn 2 in a certain way. However, in a battle, you could take it whichever way works at the time. Now, is it faster to take it slower and open up the entry to turn 2? Maybe. Oh, that he is.
Steve F1's trying to hang it round outside.
Demon R trying to have a look up the inside. We are on the last lap. There's only 2 corners to go. And it's ever so close, Ray.
Yeah, just one mess up of this braking point and you're goosed.
Alright.
How we getting on?
Demon R's got a bit of a run on Steve F1. SGP, is he going to be safe? It's ever so close. He is safe. 1, 2, 3. Across the line. Nelly. What a boring race he's had. SRI. Going to cross the line. I think that might be critical, going a bit wide. Jason, Art Power, and critical. And, yeah. Nelly, I don't think Nelly did anything in that race, did he?
I never fucking seen him.
Exactly. Only saw him in the background. That's what you get when you're wearing a VR. Okay, clearly my video editing this week has not been as good as it normally is. Apologies for that, folks. And if you haven't seen any of it, don't worry about it. Okay, there's the unconfirmed race result for race 7. This reversed will set the grid for the final race of the championship, race 8. However, unfortunately, Rich Blues was not able to take part in the final race of the championship. Steve F1, though, barring any penalties, which I don't think he's getting, has now confirmed as champion. So, Ray, he's going to have to take part in the Champions Challenge, isn't he?
Yeah, you start at the back, and I think we messed it up. We said half a lap where we should have said a lap.
Well, yeah, so, normally it is a lap, isn't it?
Yeah. And then second place we've got Critical, and then we see Artpal third and Jason fourth.
Yep. SRI sitting in 5th place, Nelly in 6th, Demonar 7th, Steve F1 in 8th, but he won't move, and SGP in 9th. So normally with the Champions Challenge, like the champion will start at the back, but wait until the lead driver gets to the exit of the final corner. Because we're only in a 20-minute race, though, we opted to give Steve F1 half a lap, and you'll see how it goes. 5 lights and away they go. Gary and Baby on pole. Can he hold on into turn 1?
SRI's got a good start.
Oh, well, he's always been good at starting. It's finishing he's had a problem with.
Oh, he's always finished, that's a problem.
Oh, okay, so this is Barcelona, but not as we normally know it. It's a short circuit, as the pack cam is looking at Steve F1 sitting there, twiddling his thumbs. At least that's what I hope he's twiddling. Critical then, leading up to what is normally turn 9. It's 1, 2, 3, turn 4. Oh, we got cars wide. And we could see penalties. I don't know if you was here, Ray, for practice. I think you was. In practice, it was funny. Demonar, what are you doing? Oh, dear. Maybe he's trying to give Steve F1 a bit of a helping hand. Someone to catch early.
Oh, I think Gary's moved out the way after what happened at the top of the hill. The wee nudge to SRI wide. As we see, Critical, is he going to complete his first lap?
In the lead, maybe. Do you know what it says on the front of Gary's car at the top of the windscreen? So I'm just wondering if is that his nickname for his baby? Sorry,
Gary. Has to change the nappy. He's going to be going.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't have children, and there's three main reasons I don't know. Oh, Jason! I think Jason. Yeah, I think he just.
Artpal as well. Artpal's went.
Oh dear, maybe Artpal and Jason getting their braking points very wrong. Jason did tag the back of Critical, sent him deep, but did let him back through. So that's a case where you'd have to go, okay, he's made a mistake, but he knows it, so no harm, no foul, let's carry on. Oh, Critical! Chopping Jason's nose off there a little bit. Oh, and again.
They're getting a bit feisty up the front here.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Okay, so the 3 reasons I haven't got children. 1, at the moment, no women want to sleep with me. 2, I can't handle the crying. 3, nappies, no thanks. Jason making a move. There's a bit of contact. Critical's got a penalty. I don't know. Oh, Critical's gone straight on as well. Oh, he may get another penalty. Oh, it's all got messy. SRI takes the lead of the race. You know what? I think there was a lot going on there. Maybe that might be something we end up having a look at on the G Sport.
Was that Gary on the or Artpal on the grass there?
I think it was. I think he was moving over to serve his penalty, and I think it might have gone a little bit wrong as he's also gone deep. Okay, so. Let's see what we got going on up at the front. Jason leading now, so he must have made a move on SRI unless SRI had a penalty. There was a lot going on in that opening lap. Excuse me, a lot of opening 2 laps may be worth looking at on the G Spot. I'd be interested to know because, to be honest, Ray, I don't really know what's just happened.
No, just it's quite a bit. Fierce battle that was going on, and
Well,
people might feel that they were
hard done
what's the
by.
word I'm looking for? Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But
you know what? It
it's
could,
on that sausage and it's put him sideways. Can he get it slowed down for the chicane? He can
he
do.
can. The thing is, though, you know what? It could be worse. Oh, SRI got a bit of a run on Jason. If he can make the move, it'd be quite good. But I just wanted to let you know, Ray, I am fucking awesome.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
SRI's hard on the brakes, and so is Jason. Jason a wee bit wider, SRI hugging that apex, and then they're going to switch round here for turn 3. Just that curb, if you hit that curb on turn 3 a certain way, it kind of bounces you out a wee bit to the sausage curb at the King of 4.
Absolutely. But because I'm fucking awesome, it doesn't happen to me. And awesome is not a good name for a dog.
Yeah. I'm in these. It's stupid to say I'm fucking Jesus.
No. I would like to let you know, though, that I ran over 5 miles today.
Did you fuck?
I know I did, but again, that's another bad name for a dog.
As we see these two still fighting it.
Right, you got to admit, some of these are good. Some of these are good. Go on, SRI is battling with Jason. Yeah, side by side they go down into turn 1. I must admit, right, I do like this short circuit of Barcelona. Because, especially in these cars.
Jason had a reset because it's not sounding as laggy. You can't hear his tyres squealing as much.
I do believe there was a request for Jason to do a quick reset of his station.
Is SRI right? Wide a wee bit there. Is that going to be a penalty?
Oh, not on this occasion. Jason having a look up the inside, thinks better of it. I mean, it would be interesting. I mean, Jason with his lag, I know we've talked about it a bit off camera. It's an interesting one because I'm pretty sure he's had updated internet recently. I am just wondering if he's actually hardwired, and if he is hardwired, whether he's told his PlayStation to use it hardwired. Because I would expect with the internet ability he's got, really, I'm surprised that we're seeing lag from him. But also, it does seem to have been worse since. Not the last update, the update before when... Oh, critical Wade! Oh, that was a critical error.
Yep, as Art Pal on the back of Nelly, is he going to go for it into turn 1? So, the kind of breaking point I had was just before... See how where the pit line starts to straighten up? It curves just there. Well, you can't see where I'm pointing to.
No, that's true. Well, Steve F1, having started half a lap behind, I'm sure that was a Madness song, has now caught up and passed Gary. I think we may also have a driver with a technical issue down at turn 1, looking at the track map, as SRI opening up a bit of a gap to Jason now. So Steve F1 is already up to 7th place, which means he's already in the pack, which means it's only taken 7 minutes. So yeah, we should have made him do the full bloody lap behind. Okay, SRI, Jason. Oh, that looked like a lot of curb from Jason. It was a lot of curb from Jason. Oh, on the back cam. Yeah, we can, sorry, on the back cam we can see there is a car parked down at turn 1. And I think it might be critical as Nelly. Oh, not going for the move, going for the bump draft. I like it, Nelly. Then go for the move.
Oh, no, but yeah. Yeah, just at that, where it starts to straight up at the, on the pit lane line exit. That's where kind of people are braking, so if you brake after that, you're going straight on.
Well, I went for the 300 metre marker board. And obviously,
I've never seen that.
Well, let's see if you can spot it early point. There's Nelly and Artpal side by side, headed up to the hairpin. Steve F1, will he go for a switchback here? Yes, he will, but he's going to be on the outside of 3. Oh, no, he's tucked back in. Yeah, wise decision that. He may have been trying to get up alongside Nelly there, but Nelly's got up alongside Artpal. Cracking little battle this as we go into the final few corners. See, now, I hate this final chicane. However, on this layout of a track, I think it suits it. But I really don't think the full course here needs the full chicane. Okay, Jason.
I think it does. I beg to differ.
Well, Jason serving his penalty then. That loses him second place. Could put him under pressure as well from SGP. As Demon R now into second place. Steve F1 battling with Artpal through turn 1. And Steve F1 could still have a chance of winning this race, you know.
Yeah, he's not that far back, is he? SGP. Let's see where there's Jason and Demon R. He's not that far back. He has got a chance. We've got over just about 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, down towards the hairpin we go then. Steve F1 defending from Nelly and from Artpal. Artpal may be able to get a decent run here. Might get a good exit. Is he up the inside? Yeah, he might be able to beat. No, Nelly covers him off. Just SRI's got a bit of a gap to Demon R. That's on the pack cam. And that's the biggest 69 I've seen for a while. Oh dear. Okay, Jason. I mean, it's interesting. It definitely doesn't look like Jason is lagging anywhere near as much as he was in the first race, doesn't it? His car's looking stable.
Yeah, it's looking very stable this time round.
SGP got a bit of a run on him though. Jason going defensive. Nelly making a move on Steve F1 in the background as SGP trying to go round the outside, can't quite get it done, but a great battle this is turning out to be. This is what we wanted to see, isn't it, from the Suzuki Swift Championship? Very close battling.
Yep, and it provided us SGP wide and provided us with it all season long. Like, how many races has the camera hardly moved from the front?
Well, yeah. I mean, the last race was like that, wasn't it? Pretty much. I mean, yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I mean, obviously, it's a very different style of racing compared to when we have strategies, rear wheel cars, pits. Tyre wear, fuel usage and all that kind of stuff. Obviously these are more like sprint races, but I don't think we've really seen in any of the races, we've not had one person break away up at the front and just bugger off, have we?
Not really, no. I don't think so. Well, it's alright at the minute.
Well, yeah. He's trying to he's managing to fend off Demon R, so the lap times must be fairly good up at the front. Steve F1 got Nelly just ahead of him. Jason's broken away a little bit now from Nelly with the battles that have gone, unless it's the penalties actually, because SGP was up there but got a penalty, didn't he?
Yeah, thought Steve F1 was going to have the inside line on Nelly, but he's not, so we say, Steve F1, is he going for it into the chicane? Why we're looking at this? We want to see he has a chicane, the hairpin, sorry. Apologies.
I've no idea. I didn't see any of it, even if it was on the screen.
Near the tab, because it was just full of SGP's car.
Okay, Artpal all over the back of SGP here. Jason has broken away a little bit now, hasn't he? But I wouldn't be surprised if Steve F1, if he can get into his groove, may be able to close that gap. But this is where as well, if you're in Nelly's position, it wouldn't be a bad idea to not attack Steve F1. If you don't attack him, you both might actually catch Jason as SGP goes defensive. That gives Artpal! Ooh, Nelly.
He's just gave Steve F1 a wee bit of a bump, but he's not overtook him, so might have backed out of that a wee bit there.
Artpal wasn't able to get ahead. Yes, he was, able to get ahead of SGP. Excuse me. Oh, I really shouldn't have rushed my food before doing this commentary. I'm all gassy now. Nothing to do with the drink, as SGP dives up for the inside of Nelly, has to back out of it. Now he's under pressure.
That's going to make him slow. That pal's going to be on the back of him.
Absolutely. I think Gary may be on a little bit of baby duty once again, as he's definitely dropped away from the pack. Jason still got that gap now, hasn't he? Has Nelly got a little bit out of shape?
Deep.
Nelly going deep put SGP in a position he didn't want to be in, and now allowed Artpal to get a run on him, but Artpal now hasn't got the slipstream. SGP will get back past Artpal. Yes, he has, and Artpal slips into the slipstream.
Yeah, nearly having just a little mistake in it. Nearly worked for Artpal, but might not. Is Artpal on the left-hand side? We're going to SRI.
Oh, he was wide. That is a penalty. Okay, looking at SRI's lap times, pretty good. 17, 16s, fairly consistent-ish, really. Sort of 17.0s, 16.9s. But that penalty, that'll cost him quite a bit. I don't know what lap times Demon R's been doing, because the gap is still, let's see, about 2 seconds. But this is where we get to find out if half a second penalty rate is going to cost SRI half a second or more.
Yeah, this will be interesting. I wonder if we get to see Demon R's times as well. It'd be nice to see
wouldn't
difference.
It? Well, the gap was about 2.3 seconds before the penalty. It's definitely...
Demon R's 16s. Demon R's been doing more 16s than SRI.
Oh, so Demon R closing the gap only by fractions, though. SRI serving that penalty has definitely helped us. Yeah, we look on the pack cam. Demon R is considerably closer now as Steve F1, the new con champion. Sorry, Connor. All over the back of Jason now as SGP ahead of Nelly. This is definitely now, though, pressure situation for SRI. Leading the race, having got a penalty. Demon R's now closer. Steve F1 trying to go around the outside of Jason.
It's going to be this little kink. It'll give Jason just a wee bit of headroom. Jason's went wide. He's went very wide. That's going to... Let's see how we get through the chicane here. Side by side.
Oh, Nelly!
Free wide into here, you don't want to.
No, Nelly making that free wide has just absolutely screwed Steve F1. Helped SGP massively. It's not helped Nelly at all either. It's a shame.
Jason's given Steve F1 the slipstream, so Steve F1 will be ahead. Maybe coming into the braking zone. No, he's not ahead, but he's staying there.
Yeah,
no, he's wide into turn 1. Yeah. The background there.
Steve F1 covering off SGP. Demon R closing in on the back of SRI on the pack cam. Pressure really on now for SRI as SGP putting the pressure on Steve F1. See if any of them run wide up here. No, absolutely brilliant from the 5 of them.
Demon R's much closer now. He's seen it coming into that hairpin. Maybe just a Glaciatina effect, but it looks much closer.
It really does, doesn't it? SGP trying to fend off Artpal. Steve F1 and Jason have broken away a little bit from him. Is Artpal going to have a look up the inside? He's looking, but not going. Oh, SGP goes a bit wide. Nelly round the outside. Artpal's backed out of it. Nelly gets through. Okay, I must admit, this is an absolutely brilliant battle.
He's got to be in his slipstream now. roughly?
He
Might just be on the tinker and the edge of it.
I think normally you have to be about, or SRI going on a very tight line into turn one. Yeah, I think you normally have to be about 7.5 tenths of a second to start getting the slipstream. SGP goes wide, Nelly goes through. And obviously, for anyone that has noticed, Critical is parked up at the side of turn one. We can talk about that a little bit later. Steve F1 now, can he do anything about Jason? He needs to try and catch him up again. I think they all got around turn 49 quite nicely.
SGP going for the move into the hairpin. He's late on the brakes. Has he got enough room there? I think they do give each other room. Artpal just sitting in the background, sniffing, waiting.
Alright, that he is. Side by side they go. Artpal sneaks up the inside of SGP. Is he going to try and get up the inside of Nelly? No. He nearly did.
Yeah. SGP's going to have the inside of this. Oh, it's Steve F1 club on the curbs. He's got a on this. He got a penalty.
He's got a run on the penalty zone. That's what he's got. He probably won't have to serve it now. It'll be
on the last lap. We're going to go on. Jesus Christ, that was quick.
Yeah, that means that Steve F1's half a second penalty is going to become a 1 second penalty at the end of this race. Critical moving once again. It looks like on the pack cam, SRI has opened the gap up a little bit to Demon R. Jason coming under pressure, but he doesn't need to worry about Steve F1 now, does he?
Not just yet, but he needs to.
Oh, Nelly! Oh, SGP! Oh, there could be a couple of penalties more coming there. Nelly's got a penalty. That'll be a 1 second penalty as well. Oh, pal up the inside, SGP wide. I don't know.
This is going to be a battle of the non-penalties.
Yeah. Jason, if he can avoid getting a penalty at the final chicane, he'll get third place. SRI through the final chicane now. There he is on the main screen, through the final corner. What a win for him. Absolutely a brilliant drive. Demon R closed the gap, but not enough. Jason, can he hold on to third? No, Steve F1 making the move, but he's got a penalty to serve. Across the line they go. So SGP's fourth, Artpal fifth, Steve F1 at sixth, Nelly seventh, I think, Formula Gary eighth, and Critical in ninth. We'll be able to confirm that race result shortly when we also check whether there has been any reports or not. But what a race, what an action-packed race from start to finish. I mean, it definitely did look like it got a little bit too feisty at the beginning there, though, didn't it, Ray?
Yeah, it looked very... It looked feisty. I don't know exactly what was going on and people felt hard done by, but I don't know if Critical missed his breaking point into that the last chicane, or if his fuse had just blown. But maybe that's something we can G-Spot look back at and just show all the points from each side of each driver. Because we didn't really see Jason's lag in that race compared to the race before. So
I mean, from what I can remember, there was
over from the first race.
Maybe. I mean, Jason was obviously made an error at turn one, didn't he? Got late on the brakes and knocked Critical straight on. But Jason did wait for him and let Critical carry on. I think Critical did get a penalty, but I actually think it was from a couple of corners later. I don't think he got a penalty from when Jason knocked him off. But then Jason did go for a move a little later on. Now, Critical may have thought that was a little bit too late, but obviously we didn't have the best of views. So, as you said, looking at that on the G-Spot would be quite interesting. Now, obviously, one of the reasons we say that is, obviously, we've ended up with a driver parked up at the outside of turn one for the majority of the race there. So obviously it's an unusual situation. Now, if any of the...
And also the... I don't know who else said it, but I'll be one of the admins that says do not retaliate, and that was when we seen what happened at the chicane. Even though Jason kind of stayed on track, and it was critical that he penalised himself, and that's one rule we don't have. One rule we have, in our league is that you don't retaliate. You send it to the
page.
We said the page, yeah. And the admins will look into it, and with admins kind of stepping in as well, they're going to look into it. It's not going to be
it's
forgotten done with.
No, it's one of those situations, isn't it, where obviously something unusual has happened. So obviously viewers would be perhaps interested to know what happened. And obviously as drivers, commentators, admins, stewards, we're interested to know what happened as well. So obviously we're going to take a look, because especially as admins, it's a little bit like, I mean, if we were doing a race and me and you had a massive argument during the race about how each other was driving, we would expect the other admins to want to know what had actually happened at that point, to see if they could perhaps deal with any issues. It's just the way we are. We're nosy bastards, aren't we? But also,
and also it's
integrity
of the league as well, because the group of drivers we've got they're great, and we get along well, and we don't want to see MD going, right, that's it, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
hard done by.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. If someone's getting frustrated by somebody else's actions, that's why we have the ability for drivers to put reports in, and then we can deal with those situations. What we definitely don't want is drivers dealing with it themselves in the wrong way on the track. Obviously, the right way to deal with things is to either talk to the other driver, or when you make mistakes, you let the other person through. Like we saw Jason, he made a mistake, turn one, not critical off, he waited for him, let him back through. That's done and dusted. That's one of those situations where I would say to anybody in that as frustrating as it might be that you've been hit up the arse and sent off wide, that's where you kind of have to go, okay, he's made a mistake, he's owned up to it, let's crack on. But maybe there has been a bit of a boiling situation there. Obviously, we don't know. We'll find out, hopefully. We'll perhaps have a chat with both of the drivers when I've not had a few beers. And yeah, it would be interesting to have a look at on the G-Spot. I mean, what I would say is critical parking up at the side of the road. If he feels that the red mist has descended and he's on the verge of doing something he shouldn't do, then he's taken the right course of action. He's pulled off the track. Yeah, I mean, we would normally say perhaps pull into the pits and stay there, but I haven't got a problem with someone pulling off the track, staying well out of the way, causing no issues and calming themselves down. No problem with that whatsoever. So the fact that Critical has parked up at the side of the road for majority of that race, I don't have any issue with that whatsoever. Obviously, what would have been an issue was, I mean, unfortunately, many years ago, I've seen someone do a similar thing, but then do things like drive the opposite way round the track. And not on GT and not with this group of guys, but in the old F1 leagues, I've seen that happen. And people take revenge to the maximum next level. And it's never nice to see or have to deal with. But it is one of those... It is massively frustrating, but it's a little bit like with football. If you get hacked, if you get up and punch the guy, yeah, you're getting sent off and you're going to get a ban for reacting, for for assault. But I forgot what the word was. Retaliation. Yeah, for retaliation. It is a similar. I mean, we have a similar view of it, don't we? Where, yeah, people may do things that could get them a yellow card, but if you go and do something that gets you a red card, then yeah, Maybe that's something we could introduce, yellow and red cards. But anyway, right, other than we've waffled about that a little bit, I've got to say, a brilliant couple of races though. That first race with the battle up at the front three really going at it, and well done to SGP on taking the win there. The pack battle was looked very interesting as well. That second race, SRI's done brilliantly well to hold on and take the victory there, especially with the pressure of getting that penalty. Absolutely brilliant. I do want to just say again as well, massive apologies to Conrad that he wasn't able to take part in the final two races, because I genuinely do think if Connor had been there in these two races, he'd have been up there at the front battling for the win and the championship, no doubt about it, especially the first race, because he would have started on pole. Okay, Ray, what's the next track?
We don't know, is it finished, is it not?
It is, yeah. I thought I'd just test you. Okay.
No. Great championship. Great racing. Unfortunately, Conrad was on for his first championship. He done well, but Conrad, look, we didn't give him an easy time.
No, definitely
we hounded him. Well, Demon R and SGP hounded him in the first race, and
I was tempted
you never
to
get anywhere there in the second race.
I was tempted to wedge him, but no. Part of me does wonder whether this championship we've just done perhaps shouldn't have been a Gold Star Championship, but I don't mind that it's a Gold Star Championship, really. What we are going to be doing next, though, is quite interesting. Now, we've already told the drivers that were at the event on Thursday, on race day. We've already given them the information about the next championship, or the next events that are taking place. So I might as well just mention it here as well. Okay, we are now going to be taking a 2-week break, at least a 2-week break. I say at least because we're not setting in stone the date of the next event, because to be honest, us as admins, we do need a break. I know I need a break from doing a lot of video editing. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the personal life. Ray's been having so many babies, it's unreal. So obviously people have got a lot going on in their lives, and we're into the summer holidays, so we are going to be taking at least a 2-week break. The next championship, though, is going to be a new style of championship. We currently have Gold Star and we have Brown Star. Brown Stars are the dirty ones, Gold Stars are the proper ones, and we're now going to have a Silver Star Championship. So it isn't a dirty championship. You are to race properly, but it's not as... I don't want to say serious. It's not as... longer championship as the Gold Star Championships usually are. So we're going to do a Silver Star Championship in the classic VW Beetle. Now you can modify it, you can change how it looks, you can even do loads of tuning on it if you want, because Bob's going to be on. Just don't wide body the car. We're going to do, I think, 4 weeks of races. I think we're going to have a couple of races a night. And there is the possibility that we might not actually video those races and put them out on YouTube. Depends if us as admins and myself as the editor decide we need to take a bit more of a break. And one of the reasons I say that is, Ray, I was trying to think about this the other day. I know we've just done a back-to-back championships. So this one we've just done carried straight on after the previous one. I can't even remember what car we were in for the previous one. It might have been the Nissan 350. I can't remember. But I do... or 370. Yeah, the Nismo Superleggera. Was it that one? Or was it a different one?
Well, before here it was Aston Martin.
So it was, yeah. you're right, it was the Aston Martin, and then before that it was the Superleggera. So I just feel like we've kind of gone very quickly from one championship into the next, and we've not really had much of a break over the last few championships. And one of the reasons for that is so that we could get championships finished before this summer holiday, which is why we may take more than a 2-week break coming now. But yeah, so the car is going to be the VW. Jesus Christ, you motherfucker. Right, it's definitely going to be 3 weeks because I'm going to be in hospital for 2 with a fucking heart attack, you bastard.
My life!
Yeah. Now, I don't know if the tracks have been confirmed, but I do want to let the drivers know you are going to need the Sport Soft tyres, and we may be racing in...
That's bit?
Hey, what?
The best bit?
The best bit? Well, I was thinking the best bit is we could be racing in conditions we have not raced in before and at locations we have not raced at before.
Well, I don't know about locations, but conditions, yeah.
Conditions, definitely. But yeah, so... I mean, we could just give all the information, but I haven't really got all the information. But
I can't remember the tracks, to be honest.
I can only remember one, and I don't want to tell people what it is.
No.
But no, be prepared for some wet weather. Let's put it this way: if at some point in the Gold Star Championships we want to be able to have wet weather, then we want to introduce the drivers to wet weather in a car that is going to give you time to be able to do things like look at the weather radar and learn about how much water's on the track and different things like that, without actually having to worry at that time about, oh, do I need to pit for tyres? Because with us being on the Sport Softs, they're all-weather tyres, so you can just keep driving. But yeah, so hopefully... Go on.
Do you feel this league is... yes, it's a racing league, but do you think it's educational as well? Because the way we bring new things in?
Well, some might say we try and do things educationally. Some might say we don't trust the drivers to be able to race in the wet. I would actually say it is the former.
I wouldn't trust myself to drive in the wet in a high-speed car, but
no.
a low-speed car then.
Yeah. Well, one of
that. Go on.
No, sorry, go on. After you.
In a low-speed car, you get that. Okay, it's wet. Where do I need to look for certain information?
Mm-hmm.
And you can take your time, and then if you go into a faster car, you can then make it a wee bit faster of where you're looking for that information.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of progressing in a way, and kind of educating yourself.
What I was going to say was, when GT7 first came out, obviously there was 4 of us that were pretty much on it straight away. That was the admins. SGP, you, SRI, Steve F1 and myself. And we were on it to see if it would be ready for league racing, and for a long time it wasn't. But in that time of us trying different things on it, SGP constantly screwed us over by randomly putting wet weather on it. Now, what we found was we'd be in situations where we would pit and go, fuck, I haven't got any rain tyres, because he hadn't told us that there could be rain. Now, obviously, we got an education from that, and we could quite simply do the same thing to all of the drivers. But we know it's not the right way to do it. What we would rather do is go, right, guys, if at some point we want to bring in the rain, we want to at least have given you the possibility of finding out what is actually or what happens when the rain comes. So, excuse me, how to look on the radar to see if weather is on its way. Also, how to, where to find the indicator for how wet the track is, which could tell you whether you would need intermediates, wets or slicks. But also, as daft as it might sound, and give the drivers the opportunity to perhaps drive down a straight and go, oh, I wonder if it's wetter over on that side of the road. But not only that, a lot of people may not realise this, is the physics on GT7 with the wet is very realistic in terms of, if you stay on the racing line, you will slip and slide all over the place. However, if you are off the racing line for a braking zone, your car will grip more. What will happen when you get to where the racing line is, suddenly your steering will go lighter, and if you're in a rear wheel drive car, your rear could go lighter as well. So you can actually feel where the grip is off the racing line when you cross a racing line, how you haven't got the grip, and then when you have got past it, the grip being there again. So the wet racing lines are definitely effective on GT7. But it's one of those things, if we're just throwing in the deep end, you might not know about it or might not believe us about it, but it's definitely a factor. And to be honest, the Silver Star Championship is a perfect opportunity for us to introduce the weather and get people to look on the screen at the information they need. Again, in a car that is so slow, you will have plenty of time to work out where you need to look, but also
until the
corner. But I was going to say, you'll also have time to look when you're spinning in slow motion. But as daft as it may sound to some, the VW Beetle in the wet conditions can actually be a little tricky. And we've driven it and we've tested it in the wet. Not tested it loads, but we've driven it a bit. And every single one of the admins was spinning out in it. But we found it fun because of how slow it is. It is funny. And that is part of the reasons why it is a Silver Star Championship, because it is funny. It's a funny car. But also, if we all struggle to handle a slow car in the wet, maybe we're not ready for faster cars in the wet. So this is another opportunity for us to go, okay, you know what? We're all going to struggle a bit in the wet. So let's have a bit of fun. Let's see what the wet is all about together with more of us on the track. We'll get to see if a dry line will appear because there's more of us on the track, things like that. So that if we do introduce weather in the future, none of us are going to be at a shock and be wondering, oh, where do I need to look? What do I need to do? And all this kind of stuff. It'll become much more second nature. Anything else you want to add there, Ray?
No. Definitely had fun. The couple of sessions that we were testing the wet weather with it, but yeah, definitely had fun. And drivers are going to be like, oh shit, is it spinning? Because it's going to be a slow spin, and if it gets to a certain point, you're not catching it.
Yeah. I mean, treat it as a bit of fun without it being a dirty championship. And yeah, it's the summer holidays, so let's just enjoy ourselves. For some reason, I've got on my mind that there was something else I was going to mention. I can't remember it. So apologies for that. If I do get a chance to do a bit of a G-spot on a few things from these two races, we will. But other than that, I think the only thing to really do now, Ray, is to say thank you very much for joining us on Commentary.
Yeah, well done to Steve F1. Unfortunately, Conrad, sorry, bit of gassy there.
The thing is, Connor, though, unfortunately, he's fucking angry.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he's not this weekend, unless the wife's with him. If he's fucking angry this weekend, his tent mate's got a problem.
It's a fantastic season. One great season, great driving, races by the drivers. Yep. So yeah, I look forward to a wee bit of a break and chill time. But thank you for having us on commentary.
Absolutely.
And also to those in the background as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just remembered what it was I thought I wanted to mention. Okay. Obviously, we just talked a lot there about like the next championship and some of the reasons for doing it and things like that. Well, I want to just sort of re-emphasise the proceedings of how this championship we've just done has gone about. So, the way the events have been hosted is SGP obviously hosts the lobby, gets on at 7 o'clock, and any of the drivers can join from 7 o'clock to get a few laps practice before the race. Now, for the first race of the night, the grid is set by championship order, which means SGP does have to wait for all of the drivers to get into the lobby and tick up to say they're ready, so SGP can put them in the championship order. Once that first race is completed, SGP then needs to set the new event settings, but wait for everybody to tick up and say that they're ready, and then set the grid as a reverse grid from the previous result for that second race. And one of the things that we've done with this championship is we have said, right, once the grid has been set, we will have 10 minutes until the race. And that 10 minutes, number one, is so that SGP gets to have at least 10 minutes practice before the second race. And some people might say, well, why does SGP get the 10 minutes practice? Well, the reason is he's having to deal with all the lobby settings and the sorting the positions, and if anybody's got issues like we had this week, or like he had this week by accidentally starting the race and we had to set a new lobby, wait for everybody to get back in, set the grid. It's basically he's doing stuff while other people can be on the track. And that 10 minutes also has a secondary function. It is so that everybody else can get a few laps in and know what track they're on and where they're going. So I would highly recommend that all drivers in those kind of situations take those 10 minutes to work out where the breaking points are if they don't know. If you've not been able to join the practice session on a Monday, those 10 minutes are for you as well, to find out, okay, where do I brake? And there's no harm in asking someone, but go and do it. What I wouldn't really want to see is someone just parked up at the side of the road singing songs like last week, and then getting into the second race and going, which way's the track go? Well, you've had 10 minutes to find that out. So yeah, it may seem like a bit of a bollocking on that one.
Sideways, naughty boy.
Yeah. But yeah, also, yeah, don't sing during the races. Anyway, leave the singing and the bad jokes up to us. We'll be fine. There was something else I wanted to mention as well, but that has slipped my mind as I was going on about that. So yeah, I think we sort of just bring it to an end now.
Yep. When's the video going out?
Well, it's already out, Ray. It should have been out Sunday 8 o'clock, but to be fair, it may all depend on how much of a hangover I've got from SGP's birthday party. So, yeah.
What's Grand Prix?
Oh, well, yeah, but the Grand Prix is on at what, 3 o'clock, something like that. It's not going to be. It's not going to be a late one because it's at Silverstone. So, yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. But,
it depends if it rains.
Well, yeah, that is true. Well, we should have been out at 8 o'clock, but we'll wait and see. Right, so thank you, Ray, for joining us on comms.
Oh, thank you for having me.
No problem.
Pleasure.
No problem. I've been Dave, and if you've recently watched the last G-Spot, you'll understand this bit. I've been Dave, and he's been fucking angry.
I've not watched the last one. Have I missed something?
Well, on the last G-Spot, at the end, I realised I always introduce you and anyone else that may be co-commentating, but I never introduce myself.
So you're Dave, I'm fucking angry.
I'm David, you're fucking angry. Don't tell Kirsty I called her angry. But sometimes I wake up grumpy, sometimes I let her sleep. Right, on that bombshell, I am going to go and bury my head in the sand as we will confirm the race results, if there's been any stewarding, any penalties and anything like that, and then confirm the championship standings.
And count how many edit things you'd missed.
Yeah. Drinking game on that one. Have a good one.
Bye.